Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the first part of a new series of a 1978 Kawasaki KE175. All my bikes have names. This one's name is going to be Mitchell. I got it on Facebook Marketplace in a bunch of pieces down to the bare frame, and I'll bring you around and show you all the pieces and a bunch of new parts also. Right here is the actual frame. I have the gas tank just sitting on top, and the seat does need to be cleaned up a little bit. It's sitting on a milk crate. Over here's the engine. The gauges right there. All looks really nice. And it has the service manuals, the climber, and the original Kawasaki. This bin is full. This top one, some cardboard layout for the bolts. All the bearings and stuff, seals, everything for the engine. There's the exhaust, oil tank. Every one of these boxes, I'll go through with you individually and show you what's in them. Behind here, those are the wheels, shocks, airbox, and battery holder. That's a intake boot, brake. These are some engine covers. This is the left one, right one, with this skid plate, swing arm, both rear fenders, the forks, handlebars, and that's the rack. So I'll go through each one of these boxes with you. Start with the engine. Of course, here are the two service manuals I'll be using to put this thing back together. Right here's the cylinder. It's been bored out by the previous owner, and he took it to LMR, Lindsay Machine Racing, and it's all done for me. It looks great. Cross hatching is perfect, and it's all cleaned up. New old stock 20 over rings and piston. Of course, it's the same as 0.5 millimeter. Here's the old piston with the pin still in it. Piston scored over the rings and it's stuck. You can see tons of scoring all around the piston, so this is why it got taken apart. The needle bearing, some of the needles have fallen and it failed. Here's the head. Looks really nice in that dome. No metal chunks were flying around smacking into it, so that's a plus. The actual engine is completely taken apart, except they're not split. The cases are not split yet, but all the external stuff, guards, cases, seals are off. Just not the case splitting. This are the gauges. Here's the tachometer, odometer, and speedometer. This thing died at 5,400 miles. These are all the bulbs for the gauges. Each one of them is broken. Here is the gauge mount for both of them. Right here is the bag full of all the engine parts and seals, bearings, and washers. Every washer, seal, O-ring, it's a seal, spacer, anything that's for the engine is in this bag, all brand new, new old stock. So we'll move on to this yellow box. Right here is the rear tail fender. Well, that will get repainted, and it's metal. Brand new air filter by Uni. Here's the triple clamp and steering stem. This is the throttle cable with the slide still in there, and the oil pump cable. Here's the clutch in a bag. All looks really nice and clean. This is a brand new rod, which I probably won't put on because the original one's really nice and I have to split the crank. I don't want to do that. All the transmission parts. Right here is the rotary valve cover. Headlight holder. Every gear. This is the original oil pump. These are intake grommets. I don't want to show you the other side. The person's name is on there. Let's move on to the next box. These are to keep the layout of where the bolts go that the previous owner had done, since they're different lengths. This one's for the clutch cover. This one's for something else. In this box has all the electronic and wiring stuff. And right here's the side cover. Has a little bit of owies, but that's usable completely. Right here is the rear tail light. Here's a grip, which I don't think goes to this. Tank cushion. All the wires. This is the handlebar switch for the left side. Choke, horn, turn signals, high-low beam, on and off for the lights. This is the right side, which is also the throttle. Just the kill switch on this side. These are the tank holder grommets. The whole wiring harness is in here. This is the tank strap that holds it down. And here's the ignition, which bolts to the gauge bracket, number 438. And I haven't found a key so far, so we'll probably have to get a key for that. Let's move on to the next box. This is the big tote with some of the bigger items in it. There's 2 shocks, and what's cool is they have a dual rate, so that there's a different spring right here with a collar and then a bigger one with adjustable preload. This is the air box and battery holder that goes under the seat. This is the rear brake with the pads. Still have a lot of meat on them. Just need to be cleaned. Intake boot with the clamps. Here's the exhaust. I was planning on painting this because it's a little rusty. Some scratches over here on the tail. So that'll get repainted. Here's the oil tank with oil still in it, which I find interesting. Let's find one of these other boxes. This little one right here. This is the tool holder that goes on the left side of the bike, and it holds the toolkit. This is the rotary valve disc. Yep, this bike is a 1978 with a CDI ignition. Kawasaki had them in the 70s. Here's some spark plugs. I don't know what the difference of marine would be, but that's cool. I like how it has the blank plugs too, which I'll use. Here's the coil with the boot even. Cap looks nice. This, I think, is the voltage regulator, but I'll have to look. This box has some new cables in it. This is a clutch cable, brand new. This is a shifter shaft, which I don't know why I have this. The other guy must have thought, just get everything he can. It might be bent, I haven't looked. But in case it is, or sometimes the spline strips out. Here's a whole engine bolt kit. That's an Allen. So he was really planning on rebuilding this thing, brand new. Stainless steel bolt kit. This is a throttle cable, brand new. This package right here, all it has is spark plugs. Ton of them. Some more of the marine. And this is a BR9HS. And some of the regular ones too. This box, that's the chain guard that goes over the swing arm. Here's a mirror. The back looks a little sad, but the front looks good. This is the brake stay, the rod, kickstand, here's some other parts. I think this is the swing arm bolt. Intake thing under the seat. That's the old head gasket. Here's the shifter. And the spines aren't all messed up. This looks like the tachometer drive. This box has the little rubber flap that goes over the front fender. Here's the whole headlight bucket. The bolt does not look broken in there, and it looks like in good condition. Every single bag is its own labeled. See, rear shocks, and it's all the bolts for the rear shocks. These are all the carburetor parts. What seems to be all brand new carburetor parts. This boot looks great. Rear fender. This looks like some bigger bolts and stuff. Tail fender. I don't know what that is. There's the horn with all the bolting bracket. Here's the carburetor. Looks extremely clean. It says Mikuni on it. It's not a aftermarket. And all those parts will go in here. I doubt we'll have to clean it, but of course we'll look. This box has some more bigger parts. This is the original air filter. I showed you the brand new uni one. Here's the blinkers for the front that clamp onto the bar. There's a gasket right here. I don't know what that's for. Here's the Kickstarter. This is the headlight tube. That's, I think, the drain bolt. Here's the passenger pegs. And here is a new old stock oil pump. I showed you the original oil pump, which didn't look bad at all. But here's a new old stock one. I'll probably put that on there to ensure no leakage. This box has all the gaskets and seals. This one goes around the rotary valve and is extremely important. I think this is an exhaust crush. Head gasket, base gasket. This is for the side, I think, right there. Every little one is in here. These are the two side covers. This is missing the Kawasaki, which is in this box, which I'll have to glue on or something. Here's the chain guard. Not broken or anything. This is the right side. This would cover the carburetor. The oil pump would go right here, carburetor, and the intake boot would come right on top. This is the bottom skid plate. This could probably be repainted too. It's got a little ding right there, a couple scratches, but not bad for being a skid plate. There's a swing arm, a little dirty. This is the front fender, and you can see the witness mark of where that little rubber flap goes. That's where it bolts on. There's the inner rear fender. Here are the forks. Look, a little scratched, but I can get that out. Here's the handlebars, and it has the left grip, so I don't know what the other grip is. Of course, missing the throttle, I have that. Here's the rack. A tiny little ding, but that's okay. Well, I hope you guys liked this video, and please subscribe so you don't miss any more parts of this new series. And I'll see you next time.